Hey everybody, Crypto Stu again, and in this video we're going to look at drawing in support and resistance and maybe understanding a bit more about what support and resistance means. So this is a daily chart of Bitcoin USD, and there's a couple of things that I'm looking for when I'm looking for support and resistance levels. Major turning points in the market and prices that have seen lots of rejection in the past. And those are the main things that I'm looking for. And I tend to prioritize the opens and closes of candles rather than the wicks. The wicks are really important to be aware of, but I will mark them in a different way because that's where I see liquidity, as in where the wicks finish. Whereas support and resistance, I tend to look more often than not. I'm looking at open and close prices. So if I just zoom into what I mean by that, if I zoom into this price action in here, I can see that these opens and closes are almost at exactly the same level. So for me, that would be worthwhile highlighting. And let's just change the style of this line here, make it slightly thinner. And one other quick tip here for TradingView is, you can obviously you can change the look of your lines and then you can save it as a template. So if I wanted to, in the text here, say that this was daily resistance, you can see that's coming up on the right hand side of my chart here. I could save this as a template called daily resistance, and then it just saves me a bit of time the next time. So if I wanted to put another horizontal line in here and then just double click it and daily resistance, it's going to come up like that. So what you're seeing here is, and I didn't have the benefit of seeing what was here on the left hand side of the chart, but it looks like this is a good level. So it acted as resistance. So price got here, it rejected away from it, it closed right on it, and then it rejected away from it. It breached it a little bit here, but then it rejected away, and then we're seeing another touch here. Get rejections again here. So this 71,281 is a good level. Now you could also kind of draw this more as a zone if you like. It's really up to your own personal preference. I prefer just a line because I'm not trading. I tend not to take a trade just because of support and resistance. I'm going to need to have some other level of confluence, whether it's a candlestick pattern or some sort of divergence that we're seeing in the chart. But if I'm going onto my chart, on it, and the canvas is clean, I will first off mark off my daily key levels of support and resistance. Where else can we see here? So this looks like quite an interesting level here. We've got a rejection here, rejection. It came back here, rejected again. It went through it here, but it quickly came back up, and then we get consolidation around this level again, consolidation around the level again, rejection this time. So what has been support will often turn into resistance. So it's support here and it's resistance over here. And then, it starts moving through this line, and therefore, it's perhaps not as relevant now as it was back here. There maybe still a bit of relevance, but moving forward, this looks like a better level. And the recent price action acted as resistance here, broke through it, it came back down and acted as support again, and then went away. And now it's not an exact level, just want to highlight that once again. Major turning point, so this is a a big swing in the market, so I'd probably mark that in there. So we had resistance, it then broke through that and it came back down and rejected off of this, so it's acting as support again. So if you're not careful, you're going to end up with hundreds of lines on your screen, which is why I tend to look at the most recent levels of support and resistance and any major turning points. So I'd have this level here on my chart because that was a big move, a big reversal there. This and it happened again here. So that's a level I would definitely have on my chart. And if we were to go back in time, you'd probably see that it held some significance in the past. So it was a support level back here. It acted as support here, a bit of consolidation around that level. So the market has a memory, and it will often revisit these levels several times. And so once I've got my key levels in, I would then perhaps, and I'd probably want to mark this level here, and we're seeing another swing at that level here. So this is relevant now, and I'd maybe move it to here now because of where the open and close were right here. And now if price comes back down into this level, then I'd be buying at support. And this might be potentially a good place to be looking to go long. So at that kind of 72, 895 type area. So that's kind of support and resistance, and then you can do exactly the same thing. You can go down to the 4-hour chart and you can draw in any major levels of support and resistance on the 4-hour chart. You will probably find that on the daily and the 4-hour, they're very similar. You may find a few more that you want to highlight on the 4-hour chart. So there's another swing in here that I'd maybe highlight. Perhaps this swing high in here. And again, I'd probably want to change just so that I know what I'm looking at. I'll maybe change to a different color. So we could call this H4 SR and save that as a template. H4. I can't remember where the other one was. Is it this? I think it was. And then you can, if you're going down, if you're going to be day trading, then you probably want to mark some of the significant 1-hour levels. So, in here, we've also got, let's change this to a different color again. Let's use green for the hour. Then we've also got another one here as well. If you click Control when you hit a drawing, it will duplicate it. So that's a little shortcut for you. Quite a lot of support in this level here. So I would maybe mark that off on if I'm going to be day trading as well. Once again, just like with candlesticks, I put more emphasis on my daily and maybe even week, going in and looking at weekly levels than I do on an hourly level. They're more significant. However, if you're trading on the shorter time frames, you may want to indicate them on your chart. Hope that was helpful. Any questions, pop in the chat and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Cheers.